Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to sew sweatpants Harald. Harald has dividing seams at the front, pockets, an elasticated and top stitched waistband and also elasticated leg hems. Harald is not too loose but also not too tight, basically a basic jog pants, very comfortable, and as you can see here it's really high-waisted. It sits above your belly button right at the waist. It's a quick and easy sewing project and thus very suitable for beginners. I'm using my overlocker as well as my normal sewing machine to sew Harald. If you don't have an overlocker, you can still sew it. Just use a straight regular stitch and finish the seam with a big zigzag stitch afterwards. Please test the straight stitch on a test piece beforehand and see if the seam becomes wavy, and if it does, pick a small zigzag stitch instead. To make Harald, you will need, of course, fabric, like any knit fabric, like brushed or unbrushed French terry, medium to heavyweight knit fabrics. I used a brushed French terry for all of my samples. It's my favorite. If you're choosing a heavier fabric like I did, then I'd recommend to cut the upper pocket from a thinner fabric like a thin knit fabric or similar to avoid that the pocket gets too bulky. You will also need elastic, which is 5 centimeters wide for the waistband, elastic which is 1 to 1.5 centimeters wide for the leg hems, also 2 eyelets, which is optional. You can also just install buttonholes. Then you will need some cord or tape, some interfacing like H200 and stay tape. If you don't have stay tape, you can just cut 1 centimeter wide strips from your interfacing. You can find detailed information about the materials as well as the quantity information in the written instructions under materials. Let's start with the cutting, and as always here is a little overview of all the pieces that you will need. Start by transferring all the markings to the fabric with a little clip or with tailor's chalk. Also mark the center of your waistband with 2 little notches and then transfer the position of your buttonholes or eyelets to the fabric. I used to push pins through the ends of the marking and then just transfer it to the fabric and repeat this step for the other side. Now I'm going to fuse some stay tape to the wrong side of the outer front pieces at the pocket opening, which is the slanted edge. If you don't have stay tape, just cut 1 centimeter wide strips from interfacing like H200 and then fuse it with a distance of 5 millimeters from the edge. If you want, you can put some parchment paper on top to protect your iron. And also fuse some interfacing to the wrong side of your waistband, right at the position of your eyelets or buttonholes. Next we're going to sew the dividing seams, therefore place the outer to the inner front piece with right sides together and pin them together along this long straight edge. You will find a marking for your orientation. Repeat this step with the other 2 pieces and then check if you are now having a mirrored pair. Now sew with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. I'm using my overlocker here, but you can also use your regular sewing machine and a regular straight stitch and then finish the seam with a big zigzag stitch afterwards. This is what it will look like now. Now press the seam flat by pressing the seam allowance to the outside. Next I'm going to top stitch the seam, basically stitching down the seam allowance at the outer front piece with a regular straight stitch and a distance to the seam of 3 to 5 millimeters as per your preference. Now grab your upper pocket and place it right sides together to your front piece. You will notice that the upper and side edges are now laying flush, and then just pin along the pocket opening, which is basically the slanted edge, and here you will find a marking and just pin right up to this marking. As my main fabric is kind of thick and heavy, I'm using a lightweight knit jersey for the upper pockets, but you can basically also use like a woven lining fabric or something. Then repeat this step with the other pocket as well. The green needle indicates where the marking should be, and now I'm going to sew the pocket to the pocket opening right until this marking. Use your regular sewing machine here and stitch with a 0.7 centimeter seam allowance. Now clip into the seam allowance right at the marking and stop approximately 1 to 2 millimeters before the seam. Next, I'm going to fold the seam allowance to the upper pocket back and stitch it in place with a regular straight stitch and a little distance from the seam, starting at the marking again. Now fold the upper pocket back to the wrong fabric side so that it lays flush with the upper and side edge again. Pull out the seam allowance right at the marking where you just cut. Next, give the pocket opening a good press, making sure that the seam is approximately 2 to 3 millimeters on the inside. Basically, your main fabric is protruding so that you cannot see the upper pocket back from the outside. Next, grab your lower pocket and place it right sides together to your upper pocket back and pin both pocket pieces in place along the curve. Repeat this step with the other side as well, and then stitch both pockets together using a 1 centimeter seam allowance. I'm sewing with my overlocker as always. You can just use your regular sewing machine and finish the seam with a big zigzag stitch. This is what it will look like from the inside, and this is what it will look like from the outside. Now align the top and side edges. You will find some markings here that will meet the pocket opening and pin all layers in place. Make sure that everything lays nice and flat. Now stitch within the seam allowance along the top and side edge to secure everything and make sure that the pocket cannot shift anymore. Now place front and back piece right sides together, pinning them together along the side and inseam. Repeat this step for the other front and back piece and make sure that you are now having one mirrored pair of pants legs. Now sew side and inseam with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. This is what they will look like now, and now for the crotch, turn one of the pant legs right side out where the other one remains as it is, then slide the one that you just turned into the other one so that the right fabric sides are together, and you can now pin along the crotch. You will notice that the inseams will match up. Now stitch with a 1 centimeter seam allowance along the crotch. This is what it will look like now, and now turn your pants right side out. For the waistband, first install buttonholes or eyelets right at the markings of the waistband. I have decided to go for buttonholes in this case. Now cut your buttonholes open and then fold your waistband so that right fabric sides are together and the short edges are together too. Pin it in place here and you will find 2 markings. Between those 2 markings, we're going to leave a little gap while sewing. Use your regular sewing machine here and stitch with a straight stitch. As I mentioned before, leaving a gap right between those markings. Now press your seam allowances open and then fold your waistband lengthwise so that the wrong fabric sides are together and the raw edges align, and pin it in place roughly. Now pin your waistband all the way around to your waist with right sides together. The front marking of the waistband will match up with the front of your pants. Then there are two more markings at the waistband. They will meet the side seams, and the waistband seam will meet the center back of your pants. Make sure that your eyelets or buttonholes are now facing the pants, while the gap that you just left in the waistband is facing upwards. Now stitch waistband in place all the way around. I'm using my overlocker, but as always you can just use a regular straight stitch and finish the seam with a big zigzag stitch. I'm sewing with a 1 cm seam allowance. This is what it will look like now, and as you can see, the buttonholes or eyelets are on the outside while the gap will be on the inside. Next, take a 5 cm wide piece of elastic and with the help of a safety pin, pull it into the waistband through the gap that you left in the waistband seam. I'd recommend a length of your waist circumference plus 4 cm of allowance. I'd recommend also to just pin it in place and then try on the trousers and see whether you want to shorten it. Make sure not to twist the elastic. If you're happy with the length, just overlap the ends by 1 cm and stitch them together with a big zigzag stitch. Now distribute the fabric along the waistband equally. I'd recommend to spread it rather at the side and back and not to gather too much fabric at the front. It will simply look better. Now secure everything with a few pins. And then top stitch your waistband using a regular straight stitch. Start at the back, so with a distance of 1.5 centimeters to the upper edge, and as you stitch, stretch the elastic to the size of your waistband. I'd recommend to pull at the front and back at the same time. It will make it much easier, and then just repeat this step with another 1.5 centimeter distance to the waistband seam. This is your final waistband, and now cut the buttonholes open if you haven't done it yet. Put a safety pin to the end of your cord or tape and then just pull it into the waistband through the buttonholes or eyelets. There are 2 centimeters of hem allowance at the leg openings. Now try on the pants and see whether you want to shorten it. Finish the raw edges using your overlocker or a big zigzag stitch, and then fold the seam allowance 2 centimeters to the inside and pin it in place. Repeat these steps with the other side as well, and then stitch the hem with a 1.5 centimeter seam allowance, leaving a little gap of approximately 1 centimeter right at the inseam. Here you can see the gap. And now cut 2 pieces of elastic. You will find the measurements of the elastic in the written instructions under materials. Put a safety pin to the end of the elastic and then pull it through the gap right into the hem. Overlap the ends by 1 centimeter and stitch them together using a big zigzag stitch. This is your final hem, and if you want, you can now close the gap.